A short while ago, probably about a year ago, I'm not too sure, I did a video in which I reviewed Mitch Albom's book, The 5 People in Heaven, and about a month ago, about a fortnight ago, I was in Waterstones and I found that he'd brought out another book. It's called The First Phone Call from Heaven, and I'm going to review the book in this video for you. Yeah, in this small Michigan town, these people start getting all these phone calls from these people who've passed away, who in their family or their friends, and they are forced to question whether it's a miracle or whether it's just a hoax. And I thought that this book would be just like, The 5 People Meet in Heaven, which has the ability to make you sort of think, feel things and feel very strong emotion and feel as if you're bereft, but you're not sure why you're bereft. And when I finally finished this, it was quite a quick read actually. It was quite a quick read really, but I found that maybe it wasn't as good as The 5 People Meet in Heaven. But that doesn't mean that it was awful. I just didn't like it as much, because I think that they probably gave too many plot arcs to too many different people, and as a result I wasn't really completely into all the character arcs, because my attention was divided up too much by all the different characters and all the different scenarios. They could have just done it over 2 or 3 main characters, and their particular stories. But apart from that, it was actually quite good. It was quite a good book, because it definitely shows the way people react to sort of miracles like this. When stuff like this happens, when everyone wants to believe that such a thing could happen, and they seek out the miracle and want to believe that this sort of thing could happen, that there could be a chance that they could contact people who've passed away, who've been in their family or their friends, because that's what people really want. They don't really want death to be the end. I think that this book definitely questions that, but there was a big plot twist at the end, which was a bit sort of like caught me off guard, but it was a bit farcical and a bit melodramatic, but it's probably not beyond the realm of reason. But I did actually expect it to be different, because it's a Mitch Albom book. I expect it to be different to what it turned out to be. That doesn't mean it was a rubbish book. It just means that maybe I didn't like it as much as I probably should have done. But ultimately, I did actually like it. After all said and done, it was a good book. But it just had me guessing, and my initial preconceptions about the book were obviously wrong, and that's a good thing, because if you aren't challenged by what you read, then it's not really worth reading, because it would be boring and you could just read it and not learn something from it in the long run. And it's also about the power of belief, really. It's about how much you do believe and how much you're willing to believe that something like this actually did happen in real life. I mean, people have said it's happened. That they want to believe something like this would happen if it's not beyond the realm of possibility for the sort of thing to happen in real life in our society. But yeah, it's, even though I did actually feel like it would end up like a Jodie Picoult book, like a lot of different plot arcs and a bit colloquial, colloquial dialogue, that sort of stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed this book, but as I said, I didn't like it as much as 5 People in Heaven, because with that it was actually only one major character with several other minor characters who still had plot arcs, but who weren't the main pull of the story, and we're only following in 5 People in Heaven, we're only following the main character. And it made us care a bit more about him as a character himself. And also, what's really good about this one is it actually includes some history into the background of the discovery of the telephone. And I'm not completely knowledgeable about that. I mean, I know that Thomas Edison and all that sort of stuff. I'm aware that he found, he came up with it, he discovered it, but it's still quite good to have some historical basis against a bit of technology which everyone takes for granted so much nowadays that we couldn't really be without it. And it's always good to hear something about the beginnings of such a ingratiated technology. It is said that the earliest spark for the telephone came when Alexander Bell was still in his teens. He noticed how, if he sang a certain note near an open piano, the string of that note would vibrate as if singing back to him. He sang an A, the A string shook. The idea of connecting voices through a wire was born. But it was not a new idea. We call out, we are answered. It has been that way from the beginning of belief, and it continues to this very moment when, late at night, in a small town called Coldwater, a 7-year-old boy hears a noise, opens his eyes, and lifts a blue toy to his ear and smiles, proving heaven is always and forever around us, and no soul remembered is ever really gone.